In the shadow of the Mediterranean, a city where ancient wisdom meets modern innovation, the city of wonders and timeless beauty. Alexandria. Alexander the Great founded Alexandria in 331 BCE as a strategic port city and center of culture and learning. The city was built on the Mediterranean coast near the island of Pharos and was designed to be a major commercial center. The city was initially inhabited by Greeks, Macedonians, and Egyptians. After Alexander's death, Ptolemy Soter, one of Alexander's generals, took control of Egypt and established the Ptolemaic dynasty. The Ptolemies ruled Alexandria for over 300 years, during which time the city became a major center of culture, learning, and trade. The Ptolemies promoted Greek culture and language, which became the dominant culture in Alexandria. Alexandria would grow and prosper into a major commercial center with trade connections to the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, and the Indian Ocean. The city was surrounded by fertile agricultural land, which produced crops such as grain, wine, and olives. Alexandria was also a major center of manufacturing, with industries such as textiles, glassmaking, and metalworking. Ancient Alexandria was a major commercial center, and its markets were known for their vibrancy and diversity. The markets were also known for their bustling atmosphere, with many people shopping, socializing, and conducting business. The markets offered a wide range of goods, including local products and imported items. The markets were also a place for cultural exchange, where people from different backgrounds could interact and share ideas. The city had many stalls, shops, and marketplaces where vendors sold a wide range of goods. The Agora was a central marketplace where people could buy and sell goods, socialize, and engage in public life. Many vendors used wooden carts or wagons to display and sell their goods. Some vendors used tents or canopies to provide shade and protection from the heat, while other vendors had more permanent stalls or booths, which were often made of wood or other materials, who would take their goods at home at night and return with it the next morning. Street vendors in Alexandria sold a variety of goods, including fruits, vegetables, herbs, freshly baked bread, cakes, and pastries were popular among the city's inhabitants, while roasted nuts, seeds, such as almonds, pistachios, and sesame seeds were a common snack. Vendors also sold wine and beer, which were popular beverages in ancient Alexandria. In ancient Alexandria, tavern-like establishments served beer and other beverages. Taverns and beer shops were popular social hubs where people gathered to drink, socialize, and conduct business. However, food and drinks weren't the only things being sold in the busy streets of Alexandria. Household items such as clay pots, jugs, wooden and metal utensils such as spoons, ladles, and cooking vessels were also sold in large quantities. Perfume and fragrance were popular among the city inhabitants. In addition to that, street vendors also sold soaps, cleaning products, medicinal herbs, fresh flowers, and garlands, which were used for decorative purposes. These are just a few examples of the wide range of goods that could be found in the streets of Alexandria. In ancient Alexandria, commoner homes were simple, functional, and made primarily of sun-dried mud bricks crafted from the fertile Nile River silt. These homes featured a rectangular design with a central courtyard, serving as the main gathering area and workspace. Typically, they had 1 or 2 rooms, including a shared sleeping area with minimal furnishings and flat roofs used for additional living space or storage. Small, high windows allowed for ventilation while minimizing heat and dust entry. Extended families often shared these small homes, with multiple generations living together, and communal courtyards were used for activities like cooking, washing, and socializing. In contrast, wealthy homes in ancient Alexandria were significantly larger and more luxurious. They were often multi-story estates with separate areas for entertaining, sleeping, and dining. These residences incorporated stone, such as limestone or sandstone, for structural and decorative elements, and featured painted walls, tiled floors, and intricate wooden furniture. The size, layout, and materials used in wealthy homes showcased their social status and resources, highlighting the stark contrast between the living conditions of the wealthy and the common people. While commoners lived in simple, functional homes, The wealthy resided in grand, opulent estates that reflected their wealth and status. Let's move on to the get-ups and apparel of the people of ancient Alexandria. In ancient Alexandria, clothing varied depending on social status, occupation, and cultural influences. Men's clothing included the tunic, which was simple and practical garment that allowed for ease of movement and comfort in the hot climate, while women's clothing featured the peplos and chiton, which was a longer, sleeveless tunic. Social status and occupation also played a significant role in determining clothing choices. Wealthy individuals wore fine, elaborate clothing made of expensive materials, while priests and officials wore distinctive clothing and regalia. Soldiers and laborers, on the other hand, wore practical, durable clothing. The fabrics and materials used for clothing were also noteworthy. The hot climate made lightweight fabrics like linen and cotton popular choices for clothing. The desert environment made protective clothing, such as headscarves and veils, necessary for protection from the sun. Silk, imported from China, was a luxury fabric reserved for the wealthy, and purple-dyed wool was highly valued and expensive. Finally, accessories and adornments were an integral part of ancient Alexandrian fashion. Jewelry, including necklaces, earrings, and rings, was worn by both men and women. Belts and girdles were used to secure clothing and as a symbol of status or occupation, while sandals and shoes were worn for everyday activities. In ancient Alexandria, commoners relied on practical and accessible modes of transportation. Walking was a primary mode for short distances, while donkeys and other pack animals like mules were widely used for carrying goods and people. Carts and wagons, pulled by donkeys or oxen, were also common for transporting goods and people within the city. Horses, being more expensive, were likely reserved for wealthier individuals, messengers, or military purposes. Camels, valued for their endurance in desert travel, were used for long-distance trade and commerce, particularly for goods arriving from or departing to the eastern regions. Despite their presence, horses and camels would have been less common in everyday city life among commoners, who favored donkeys and their own 2 feet for daily transportation needs.